Noelene Callaghan from the Department of Education. Here are some tips on how to engage adolescents online. Now before we get started and I give you some tips, I want you to just think about a couple of things. Did you know that on average, our young children, so children in primary school, are spending over 4 hours a day on their devices, on screen time? What is even more scary is that our teenagers are spending over 7 hours online. Now this, in addition to their work being done at school, plus the fact that they all need to sleep, isn't leaving much time for other activities that require no screen time. It's because there is so much competition in terms of what our students are looking at. Why is this so important? It's because our students are spending so much time online. It's important to know what our competition is so we can actually produce the best videos possible and the best streaming experience possible for our youth that will keep them as engaged as their YouTube videos, their TikToks and other. So why are TikToks and YouTube clips so exciting and so engaging for our students? Well, for a number of things. They are fun, they are relatable, they are fast, they use a ton of special effects, they use music, and they're either silly or hilarious, but they're authentic. And our students need authentic, relatable material for them to connect with. If they feel a connection with you, they will then be able to participate. We need to remember though, we're not here to compete with these TikTokers or YouTube influencers, we're here to educate. And although we can't compete, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. So here are some strategies that we can put in place to help our students be engaged and complete the activities regardless of how long we will be with them in front of the computer screen. So the first one is tone. Now, as you can see or hear, I'm using lots of different tones in my voice and the way I'm actually pronouncing information. But it's very important that we don't use a flat voice when we are presenting to students. Although we feel like that on a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we need to make sure that we are excited as what we want our students to be. If we exert that excitement and lead by example, our students will join us as well. The second thing is to use a mic. Now I'm using a very cheap mic to record all my videos. You don't need to use anything very expensive, but a mic is really important so your audience can hear you. One of the biggest gripes that we hear about is people unable to hear each other regardless of what sort of platform or tool you're using to conference. So please ensure that you have a mic so your voice is loud and clear. If you are Zooming or if you're teaming with a school who don't have a microphone facility, please ask them to sit as close as they can to the device that they're actually speaking with. Position your camera well. This sounds like a given, but the amount of phone calls or conferences that I have been to where the camera isn't sitting well and you can't see the person, therefore you can't engage or empathize with that person. So the way that your camera is positioned is really important. The way it's actually also located with you, your home, your office, or wherever you're filming from is actually really important. Right now behind me I have a beautiful classroom. That's in fact on green screen. I literally have a green screen standing right behind me. Using a green screen, again, green screens can be very cheap. You can go to Spotlight and buy some green fabric. It's very effective to create a nice sense of community behind you. If you're working from a home office or your office, feel free to use the background that you have. Just ensure that there are no distractions, no noise, and that what is behind you is neat and tidy, and that's not going to distract the students from actually listening to what you're saying. Noise. Noise is really important. Regardless of where you are, you do need a quiet space to work in, so the people that you are conferencing with and the students that you're engaging with can hear you clearly and they're not being distracted by any noise going on. I very often have my children or dogs barking around me, and I sometimes have people walking in behind me as well. That will actually deter the student from engaging with you and actually seeing what's happening in the background instead. My next tip is to always film using your device landscape. Regardless of whether you're using an iPad, a laptop or a phone, please ensure that it's landscape so the people on the other side can see you properly and that you're maximising the real estate on your screen and their screen. There's nothing more frustrating when somebody is actually using a portrait position that actually removes a lot of space and people again won't be able to engage with you. My next tip, and something that I have difficulties with, is talking slowly. It's very hard to hear when you are conferencing with another group of people, particularly when you are conferencing from one to many. So if you're one teacher and you have 30 plus students in a room, it can be very difficult for them to comprehend and understand everything. So speaking slowly is key. Again, with students, repetition is also positive regardless of the age that they are. Something else that students love is instant feedback and gratification. And this is why gamification is so popular. We found this incredibly successful when we played Kahoot with our students. So playing a game where there's a competition level and the students have a bit of friendly rivalry amongst themselves is a fantastic way for students to engage with you as well. Having that instant feedback is also very good. So by completing quizzes or online surveys where they can see the results straight away, makes them much more susceptible to engage and interact with the content that you're actually providing them. Now, they are all of the tips that I have. Hopefully they will help you. If you have any questions or would like any more information, please feel free to contact me. My email address is appearing below. Thank you.